Let's send it down to Brendan Parker and Cory Sarich with tonight's Flames TV post-game show, presented by Original 16.
Original 16 gives you the chance to win one of 3 Calgary Flames fan experiences. Details in the new limited edition 15 packs of Canadian Pale Ale. Original 16, official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames. Must be of legal drinking age, no purchase necessary.
Hi, everyone. Welcome inside Flames Postgame Live. It is brought to you by Original 16. Brendan Parker alongside Cory Sarich as we talk about a victory here tonight for the visitors. 4-3 the final. It is the St. Louis Blues that find a way to get a little bit of offense late stages of this hockey game and end up winning it with a goal, kind of a heartbreaker right at the end, the final minute of this hockey game. What did you make of just the way it progressed and obviously taking a lead but not able to squeeze it here tonight?
Well, it wasn't a great start for the Calgary Flames. It was Jacob Markstrom who held them in there early. He made some really key saves in the first 10 minutes of this game, and then it allowed the Calgary Flames to finally get their footing and get their traction. And from there on, I thought they played a really good second half of the first period. They were able to grab a lead, get into the second period. They were up at 3-1 at one point. A really costly shorthanded goal against. I know it wasn't. You never expect these things to happen, but it did, and it just seemed to kind of tilt the ice against the Calgary Flames, and the third period did not go the way that they wanted.
No, and I mean, you talk about the position and maybe that shorthanded goal, as you talk about, right at the end of the second period, and how much, I think everyone says the final 5 minutes, first 5 minutes, final 5 minutes, and in this case it's the final 2 minutes, but just how difficult those can be to recover from in terms of momentum in a hockey game.
Yeah, and you're going on a power play, which could even increase your lead, and then you give one up to shrink that lead to one. It's a really tough pill to swallow. And you make those mistakes in a game, and they do tend to come back and bite you. They tend to factor in overall. I mean, that was still a 3-2 game at that hockey point, or at that point in the hockey game. And it's just interesting, though, all the little ebbs and flows of a game and how they affect you and how they affect the team and the team's response. And that one just, it wasn't the worst response after that, but it just put a bit of a shred of doubt in their mind. And if I can make one more comment, Brandon, tonight the pucks just seemed to be bouncing everywhere. There was goals, including the last one that we'll see tonight, with bounces. Pucks were, for both teams, were flipping over sticks, and it was a really, really sloppy game in general tonight.
Yeah, even some of the goals that didn't go in terms of being deflected in were pucks that were rolling as they were hit.
And there was a few. There was even a few for the Calgary Flames that could have gone in. Like Matt Coronado has a stick in front of the net, and it's a wide open cage for his teammate, and it deflects upwards. Parayko deflected one into his own net. So it was a bit of a messy hockey game.
Yeah, it really was. Even going back to that chance that I think Coronado had one of the looks, but before that it was Backlund that had kind of a wide open look, and I think that puck wouldn't sit for him either. And that's where it stands. So let's take a look at the ones that ended up finding the back of the net as we look at our goals pack from tonight's hockey game. And it did start in favor of the Calgary Flames, and the defense kind of doing it again from the offensive side of things. This one, Mackenzie Weegar steps in, scores for a second consecutive game.
Yeah, and it's nice. There's a nice high forward on this play. It's Coronado who draws the attention of the St. Louis defenders. It allows Weegar to get open there, coming in on down the wing, and Huberdeau does a beautiful job of sliding in front of the goalie, taking away his eyes, and Binnington never gets set. Weegar picks the top corner, and it's a real beauty for his, 11th of the season?
Yeah, 11th of the season. Just keeps on tacking on goals on that career high, and Weegar's got 11 now, 1-0. So it would stay that way heading into the second period, where Saad, who had maybe 4 or 5 quality looks in the first, has one go off the crossbar and then ends up scoring with maybe his least dangerous chance of the bunch, but that's the one that goes in.
Yeah, but here's another one of these goals, and we just talked about, and I'm sure we're going to talk about multiple touches. Kadri just sticks his stick in there, and generally you get a piece of it, it deflects up into the netting somewhere else, and it completely handcuffs and fools Markstrom, who had been brilliant to that point. And it's a 1-1 hockey game. Yeah,
it almost stayed lower and then beats him kind of short side. So for Saad, finally gets on the board, 12th of the season. But the Flames answer right back with a couple of big goals. Noah Hanifin scores right here. That's his 8th.
Well, let's stick with our theme. It's a cross-ice pass that we'll see here. Intended for Lindholm, it bounces off the boards, it comes off rolling. Hanifin gets a chunk of it, it hits Colton Parayko, and it's in the net. Another deflected goal, but again, another goal by a Calgary Flames defenseman.
And another rolling puck, and got all of it, but it was hard to read. And then there you see another bouncing puck that gets out to the neutral zone, and then this one, no doubter though, from Yegor Sharango.
And that shot was not touched. That was just a nice quick release. Kind of used Justin Falk. He had backed in a little bit here on this one, and rips it by him top corner on Binnington. And there's not many goalies that are going to get a piece of that one.
No, that was perfectly played. Sharangovich has his second career 20-goal campaign, and it's a 3-1 hockey game. And then this is the one that you were talking about, the momentum killer. It's the shorthanded goal, late stages, second period.
I think this was the fourth breakaway on Jacob Markstrom this game, and finally one gets by him. He had been, again, outstanding on all of those opportunities tonight as well. And Shen, it's his first ever NHL shorthanded goal, and it comes in his 15th year as a pro.
Unbelievable, and not for a lack of chances. And it's Shen that finally buries one, and a pretty nice little finish there. Lindholm almost had the back check with the stick, but that made it a 1-goal hockey game. And then the third period, this was an extended offensive zone shift for the Blues that Jordan Kyrou finally makes good on.
Yeah, and you're wearing teams down, you're cycling them in there. Guys are a little bit tired, so they are a little slow to react and get to their position. And one of these wingers has got to react back down, and it's probably the offside winger. Greer's got to get in tight here. He's got to do a little bit more there, and the defender can't get beat out of the corner, but it's a beauty shot by Kyrou. But again, you wear a team down with your cycle, they're slow to react, and they take advantage of it.
13 on the season for Kyrou, 3-3. You think you're headed to overtime with 48 seconds left. The guy who's been all over the highlights and all over the chances ends up burying one lead.
And it's another ugly goal, and Jordan Osterley, he's in good position there. Saad, it's innocent shot from out, from distance, hits a shin pad, bounces right off the edge of the post and into the net, and that one's very unfortunate for the Calgary Flames.
Yeah, not one that you obviously want to see go in at that time, but also not much you can do about it if you're the goaltender, Jacob Markstrom, who was unbelievable throughout the course of this game, but the bounces tonight kind of the theme.
Yeah, if we could show probably another 37 highlights from this thing of pucks bouncing everywhere, and ultimately the Flames don't get enough of them to go their way.
Let's get some reaction post-game here. Let's head inside the Calgary Flames locker room. Mackenzie Weegar standing by, the goal scorer who got things started for the Flames, his 11th of the season. Here's Weegar now.
But definitely a tough turnover for myself, and going completely different game, 3-1 going into the third period.
How much more does this loss hurt, knowing that this comes against a team that's also chasing a wild card spot like you guys?
Yeah, it's tough. We knew what we were at stake today and tonight. Just it makes it even harder, tougher position that we're in now. It's tough.
Are the breakaways something that just have to get fixed?
We got to, said it last game, the lack of awareness, and they block shots, and those top guys fly and they take off, and Markey still played great. He kept us in that game in the first period. That's.
Is there a mentality that maybe has to shift here? I think the last game we were talking about maybe the lack of pride during the battle of Alberta now.
Yeah.
A bit of lackadaisicalness. Like, is there something that has to change in the mental approach here, Mackenzie? Or?
Yeah, I mean, just it's focus and preparation. We've talked about that at the beginning of the year. We came out slow. Obviously, we had a great second period. It was going our way. Third period, it's still going away. It was back and forth a bit. They tied it up. That's okay. We got to, it's okay. We're 3-3 going in. We can go to overtime, get a point, and get the 2 points, and just a tough bounce there. So that was tough at the end.
Mackenzie, when you guys came out of that skate in October, there was a lot of talk of, okay, we can't afford another one. We've had our losing streak for the season. So how much urgency is there to make sure that this ends at 3?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of urgency. That's when, we get together, we talk as a group, the leaders, talk to everybody as a group, and we got to just forget about it. I'm sure everybody will say it's a new day tomorrow, get to work, come prepared for the next game. That's all great, but we actually have to do it.
Mistakes do happen. I mean, you came out and you sort of called yourself out for the mistake. Is that something that, I'm just genuinely curious, that you do in the locker room and say, hey guys, that one's on
that's a bullshit play. I said it before. It's as an older guy, as a leader, or even a young guy, it's so unacceptable that I make a play like that, on a power play with, not a lot of time left on the clock. And like I said, it'd be a completely different game going into that third period.
So that accountability, I guess, like you're hoping that, I guess, the team does that collectively.
Yeah, and there's a lot of accountability in this room, and we're completely fine in that department. There's a lot of ownership in this group, and there's leaders all up and down the lineup. But I can definitely, say for myself that that's a tough play, and contribute to the loss.
Okay, thanks, Reeves.
All right, they're here from Mackenzie Weegar following the game, and obviously scores that big goal early on, but a lot of the talk coming in there, and from him specifically was about that play that ends up being the 3-2 goal late stages of the second period, and a lot of accountability on his behalf as well.
Yeah, he's definitely owning up to that one. I'm sure that's a play that he'll want back. Again, it was the puck was bouncing everywhere tonight, and it's unfortunate that one got him. I guess it's at times it's up to your partner or whoever you're out there with on the power play. If they see that puck start bouncing 1 ounce, they got to head back. But again, it's just a split second play, and you don't have hardly any time to react. And he's done such a great job of handling the puck, Mackenzie, along that blue line this year, and that's what's led to a lot of his success and goals. So just an unfortunate play.
For sure. And, let's give some credit here to Jacob Markstrom, too, throughout the early part of the night, because I don't know that this game is in favor of the Calgary Flames through 40 minutes, if not for the work that he had. And it wasn't just, volume. And in the end, it's probably not that many shots, but the type of shots he was facing, especially early on here.
Well, there was the first breakaway for Brandon Saad. Here's a second partial that he makes a really good read on.
Yeah.
Here's another blown tire by Sharon Govich. Neighbors, who's been scoring a bunch of goals this year, gets a chance. And look who it is again, number 20.
Yeah,
he was his own highlight pack tonight. And Markstrom outstanding with his movement, and we're not quite done yet.
This is another.
Yeah, Jordan Kyrou waits him
period.
out. So I guess Jacob Markstrom 1 for 6 in the breakaways. I don't know how much more he's supposed to do out there tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brandon Saad, I think we saw him 3 times there, and he ends up finishing with 2 goals and probably could have had a couple more to go along with it. But if not for the work of Jacob Markstrom, and I know he won't celebrate any of those saves, knowing that it finishes in a loss, but let's hear from the goaltender now.
So the heartbreaker, Jacob, just what did you see on that final goal there?
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it's obviously with the clock and the time left and tie game, it's got a crazy skip off the ice and posting in. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously I need to stop that, and it's crazy. I thought I thought it was fine. I thought it was just gonna hit the pad and just kind of got a funny bounce off the ice, which is weird.
How important is it for this group to stop this skid at 3?
Really important. If you look at the standings, it's it's huge.
How important is it to go into the All-Star break feeling good about yourself?
Yeah, I mean it's it's not it's bigger picture now. Now you wanna stick around and be in the hunt and be in the mix, and tonight was a tough one. It's we're up going into the third, and I got to come up with a few more saves tonight, and we sit here with 2 points and a happy group.
What did you feel personally getting back in after being off for a while?
Yeah, 4 is too many. 4 is 4 too many. So it's that's tough. I got to be better.
How much worse is the loss knowing it comes against a team that's in the same spot as you trying to make the playoffs?
Every loss right now is tough.
We saw Mackenzie call himself out for the giveaway at the blue line. He's been great this year, and do you see that accountability in this group right now?
Yeah, I mean it is like I said, it's stuff like that's gonna happen. It happens every game, and it doesn't matter who it is. And I'm still back there, and it's my job to how many shots are these guys blocking for me? It's it's my job to bail him out there when stuff like that happens, and I didn't do that, so that's tough.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Original 16 gives you the chance to win one of 3 Calgary Flames fan experiences. Details in the new limited edition 15 packs of Canadian Pale Ale. Original 16, official beer sponsor of the Calgary Flames. Must be of legal drinking age. No purchase necessary.
All All right, welcome back, Flames TV Live, the post-game show. It's brought to you by Original 16, Brendan Parker alongside Cory Sarich, and we are talking about a 4-3 St. Louis win here tonight, and heard from the Jacob Markstrom there, obviously describing that difficult bounce near the end of the hockey game as well. But I want to shift the focus quickly. We'll hear from the head coach here in a few minutes. He's making his way to the podium, but a lot of kids getting an opportunity here. This season, really, it's been kind of a underlying storyline. A lot of guys coming up from the Wranglers getting an opportunity to make a difference. And tonight, you look at the lineup, and you got Adam Klapka playing his second NHL game. You got Cole Schwindt playing his fourth game, but first as a member of the Flames. And then maybe Matt Coronado, a little bit more experience. And it kind of seems like in a second opportunity, if you will. Started the season with the club, but maybe settling in with a little bit more confidence now. Yeah,
you've seen all these faces out there, and I think we got to talk about Matthew Coronado, though. He looked really comfortable tonight, and I think his experience in the AHL is starting to pay off. He's getting lots of reps down there, and it just looked really forced in his first few games up with the team early at the start of the year. And tonight, he just seemed to kind of naturally be in the right spots. He was getting some chances. He was hard on pucks, and he actually looked quicker than he's looked to me. And I think maybe, once your brain's out of the road and you're just playing hockey more instinctually, this tends to happen. So tonight, he looked really smooth and way more dangerous than he has.
Yeah, creating some turnovers and obviously leading to some chances, and some nice work there from Matt Coronado around it. 3 shots, a little over 15 minutes of ice time here tonight, along with Nazem Kadri and Connor Zary on that line as well. Let's hear from the coach now. Ryan Huska, head coach, is standing by at the podium.
How did you see that one unfold, Ryan?
Once we got ourselves to that 3-1 position, I thought we were doing some good things, and then we gave them goals from there. The shorthanded one it's a tough one, and then their third goal was even tougher.
What was it about their breakouts and them sort of pushing the zone that gave you guys so much trouble tonight?
I think it's a little bit of lack of awareness. We touched on that this morning. We knew that some of their players, that's the way they play, and that's one of the reasons why they're one of the better rush teams in the league. And for whatever reason, it surprised us.
Both McKenzie and Jacob Markstrom were very hard on themselves when they were speaking with us. I mean, is that the accountability you want, to see those veteran leaders come out and own their mistakes? Not that it was necessarily mistakes with Markstrom, but
yeah, I don't think it was a mistake from Markey. I mean, he made some saves early on in this game. First 8 minutes weren't great for us. Then we started to get going, but he made some saves when we needed him to make those saves.
How important is it you guys go into this All-Star break not only just staying in the race, but feeling good about yourself?
Well, we've dropped 3 in a row at home, so that's not something that's okay. So we have to make sure we have a good day tomorrow, and then we're ready to play our best game of the year on Thursday.
How do you guys maybe rediscover that swagger or killer instinct that's led to so many comeback wins, like that mentality? How does that rediscover that as a group?
There's stretches in games, there's stretches in your seasons where I think at times, you come back in games, or you string together 4 in a row. We're in a stretch now where we have to stop the bleeding at home here. We have 2 more games here before the break, as Eric mentioned, and we have to make sure they're the most important games.
Right. Does it feel like you've taken a step backward with your play, or is it just not getting the results right now?
Maybe the composure is the better word for it. There's some plays that I don't think we had enough composure when you needed to have it, the later portions of the game.
Ryan, you guys have given up quite a few breakaways in the last few games. Is that the awareness you're talking about?
And I guess the last goal, you just chalk that up to a fluky bounce, I guess, in the last minute.
No, it was. I mean, that's you always see that part of it, but we had a poor gap to start with. So at the end of the day, that's why they entered the zone.
Make a goal in the first.
I thought he had some good shifts for us. Didn't play a ton after that last shift in the third period, but I thought he gave us some good shifts.
Were you troubled by the start today?
Yeah, I was. So we wanted to play a certain way. We played the opposite way for the first 10 minutes. Okay, thank you.
11 o'clock practice.
All right, short and sweet there from the head coach Ryan Huska as he wraps up the loss and with his reaction. And I think he kind of put it best. You look at the 2 games ahead, and obviously you want to stop the bleeding, and more importantly, you want to gain a little momentum going into that break, which is quickly on the horizon here.
Yeah, 100%. This one you let slip away from you. You got two very important games upcoming against teams that do not have very good records. So there's no excuses for these two. You can say that they're trap games. No, they're not trap games. You have to win both of these games, get yourself set up, go into the break feeling good about yourself, and then you're going to have to get to work afterwards.
Yeah, no question. And by the time we hit the break, you're going to be toiling around the 50-game mark. I think you're going to be up to 49. So tonight, the 47th game of the season, and then you're looking down the road to the final 30 games of the season. But more importantly, you just want to have a little bit of momentum. You want to feel like you've got something going for you when you go into the break, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And January is the month that goes by slow, and then February is always a month that you come out of that All-Star break, and if you're not ready to get going, you can kind of get left in the dust. So it's a very important time. It'll be time for this team to get rest. It'll be time for this team to still take good care of themselves. And it feels like every game around here is always extremely important. So I don't think we need to stress that. It's just get 2 wins and feel confident about yourself, and then get refocused.
And go from there. Well said. Well, when you get to this point of the season, we're already talking about big games, and there'll be no shortage of them coming up. And the next big one is on Thursday night. That's when the Columbus Blue Jackets come to town, and this 6-game homestand continues, winds its way through the final 2 days. Chicago Blackhawks will be the finale on Saturday night. But as for tonight, 4-3, St. Louis Blues find a couple of big ones in the third period to tie it, and then eventually win it with 48 seconds left, despite the best efforts of the goaltender Jacob Markstrom in this hockey game. Next up, it is the Blue Jackets 7 o'clock puck drop on Thursday night before they wrap up the homestand against the Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday. Thanks for watching Flames Postgame Live, brought to you by Original 16. We'll see you on Thursday night.